Alright, so this is gonna be the third part of your practice assignment. And I do apologize all these different videos that I have for this assignment. It's just we're kind of going through like so many different things that we're learning in the Photoshop program, and we're kind of condensing in like one day. But I feel like this learning this program isn't really that hard to grasp, especially with using the type tool and different ways you can manipulate type. So if you feel like you're lost, though, do ask me any questions about it. But yeah, going back to your classwork for the day, though, we went over 1 and 2, and now we're going to create at least one gradient map for the entire design. Okay, so gradient map for the entire design. So this one's pretty easy. All you're going to do is just click on the gradient map tool and make sure this is on the very, very top layer. So this will put the effect on all the things below it. Because basically this is like a filter we're putting onto the picture. So gradient map, and we've used the gradient map before. Some of you have used it before. You want to add colors to your pictures. Now this is going to allow you to change or modify those colors if you need it. So we click on the gradient map. It's doing the reverse of the black and white, so we actually want to change that. So if you really want to change those colors for your portrait, this is probably the easiest way of doing it. Obviously, the other way would be to have to figure out your values and kind of like use the paint bucket tool to paint bucket those specific areas. We're not going to do that though. You know, um, I feel like with this class, it's more important for me to teach you guys the probably like the easiest way of doing things. That way, you can put more of your imagination, more of your creativity in the artwork rather than be so boggled down by technique and making sure things are properly done right. Because we spent a lot of time with technique on the portrait, so I don't want this project to be more about that much about technique, but more about creatively what you guys come up with in terms of the positioning of the words and how it looks. So if you wanted to, you could change up your colors. Now, if you want to be a little bit more imaginative with the colors, for example, I'm going to and I actually have this in the assignment too. If you click on the eyeball here, this gives you a reference of the colors that Shepard Fairey used in his work. So if you want to do something very similar to his work, you can actually just pick out these colors that you want. So we actually, if you want to try to get these colors similar, or you want to make up your own color schemes, that's fine too. Again, we're talking about color schemes a little bit more, but I'm gonna show you guys how to get like colors very similar to how Shepard Fairey has his. But if you click on the sprocket here, we're gonna have to actually reset your gradients again. So I would just reset the gradients, and you're going to go back to your default gradients. And I feel like this gradient right here is probably like the best way to at least understand how the gradients work, or how you can manipulate them. So you click on that, and then you just click off of the window, double click on this window here, and this is going to actually allow you to edit those specific colors. So if you look carefully at these gradients, though, the yellow seems to show up in those areas that are the brightest in the picture. So if I hit cancel, I mean, you can clearly tell like any of those white areas is where the yellow is. Those gray areas is more of like the orange, and then the blue is more like where the shadows are. So very clear cut out on like what those values are. So we'll just start off with this blue here because that's probably the easiest to pick out. We're just gonna double click on the color down here, change this to a pure black, and it's gonna change all those dark values into black. So again, it's a lot easier than having to pick out the color separately. And then if you look at your lightest value, that's like almost like a beige yellow. So we're just gonna match it with that beige yellow. I mean, you could actually eye drop these colors, but it doesn't eye drop it that well though. I don't know why, but I would just find like that similar color or something close to it. So we can change this to that. And we can essentially keep the same red here. The only thing we have to add is like an orange in between. So we're gonna move this over here. And if you click on here though, you can add more gradients. So you can actually add like multiple gradients, but I wouldn't do more than 4 colors though. So this could be like an orange and something in between that yellow and then the red. So we got colors very similar to it, but maybe I don't want to change this to a white though. Yeah, because you'll have that in between color like right there. So yeah, that's very close to the colors that are on there. So we can just click OK. See a little bit vibrant, so maybe I might want to tone it down a little. Kind of hurts my eyes. So just click OK. You know, those colors are very similar to it. You know, if you want to try to find your own color scheme, yeah, you can do it that way.